Trust me. You up at the goddamn. We'll fuss now. We'll fuss now. All right, my mom.
Scratch it. It's your boy StressLyfe, a.k.a. Rise Up Ray.
Yo, you got Malik the barber back in the house again.
Y'all know what's going on, man. TPS Kels, man. Hey, 100% fit in this bit. Let's go.
Yes, Lord. And also, I got a special guest. She's a dope MC.
What's
Lord
up?
knows I love her. My girl, Bria Lee, badass from the SAV.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
What's
you
up?
feel me?
What's up? Thank
How you
for
doing, Bree?
having me. I'm good.
For sure.
I'm good.
We lit.
And, you know what I'm saying? As for the past, few episodes, teamed up with Clicked Up, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jive, all love, you know what I'm saying?
One time
Yes,
with
sir.
Jive.
One time.
100.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, check this out, though. I hope everybody had a good day. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sit back, kick back, lay back, smoke. Get your little drink on, you feel me? Tell the kids to go in the room, put the dog outside, because we about to talk.
We get
You feel me?
this thing.
Yeah. We about to talk, you know what I'm saying? Because, scratch it. This show, we tell the truth. Nothing but the truth.
That's all we
You know
do.
what I'm saying?
That's all
The
we
truth
do.
could be a little uncomfortable, but it also make you free, though. You know what I'm saying? Get you free.
Believe that.
You feel me? So, like, yeah. If you forgive me a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Had a long day, a little sip, feeling good right now.
Ain't
Feeling
nothing wrong with
good.
that, my boy. Hey.
But now though, so listen. Today's topic.
What we talking about?
I'm excited about this.
What we on, man? What we on?
Forgive me if I say the word wrong. Cause Jav, Kels, Malik, and Bria Lee been laughing at me about this. So I'm gonna get it right this time. The differences between boundaries and what it is, y'all?
Yeah, homophobic.
There you go. Homophobic. There you go. The differences between boundaries and homophobic. So, I want to go ahead and set the record straight off the rip before the show even started. It's no hate between anybody who live in their truth. If this is what you want to live, this is how you want to live your life, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your truth. That's your truth. That has nothing to do with me. That's between you and God. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I respect anybody who live in their truth, right? But it's a lot of it's some things that's been bothering me, and I feel like we got to discuss on it. So
Let's talk.
let's talk about it. I feel like in this generation, the what you call the community?
LGBTQ.
There you go.
Elemental P.
No disrespect, y'all.
No disrespect.
All the alphabets.
But you feel me? Their community, it brought some type of influence into, I don't know, I want to say the music industry or the world.
The world, period.
The world, yeah, okay, the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like now in these days, man, y'all be like crossing the line a little too much. It's like, and I don't respect it. You know what I'm saying? I should be able to voice my opinion, and y'all shouldn't have to feel no type of way about it or feel like I'm gay bashing. That's what y'all would call it, gay bashing. When in reality, I'm just voicing my opinion as a straight man, right? Malik, got a question.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about when you see situations like rappers, for instance, when they paint their nails, right? And they paint their nails, they wear skirts, they just wear all these weird-ish, you know what I'm saying, but still claiming that they straight. And when a straight man like us voice our opinions about it, we gay bashing.
I'm going to say it like this, right? First of all, when you rapping, you portraying an image to the public. You know what I mean? And the public being from adults down to little kids.
Mm-hmm.
So these little kids are seeing you out here with your dress on, your skirt on, your nails done, and all this good stuff.
All right.
But you rapping lyrics about you being a thug.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense, you know what I mean? And you talking about you doing this, that, the third, like you really in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew anybody in the hood that wore skirts.
Right.
I've been from the streets.
Right.
So how you gonna tell me now that you so-called in the industry, whatever it may be, you want to switch your whole persona?
Yeah.
Now you dress with fingernail polish, skirts and all this stuff. It don't match up.
You don't.
Either you this way, you that way. Just let it be what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you know, a lot of times too, I feel like now they make it a way where, like, remember the situation with Lil Baby? No, not Lil Baby. The Baby.
The baby.
When the Baby had made the comment that he made on stage, and it just went left field with that, right?
Right.
I feel like ever since that situation, a lot of rappers have compromised certain things about themselves with the community to get the attention that they want for, you know what I'm saying?
You know, when you in the limelight, right, it seems like any publicity is good publicity. You know what I mean? Whether it be good or bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what it is, it's publicity. And you get people to notice you. You get people to recognize what you got going on. And the more people that you got recognized going on, the more money you can make.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what are you doing to the individuals that's watching? You know what I mean? So you kind of leading people in the wrong direction
Right.
for a little bit of change. That ain't cool. You know what I mean?
Correct. Kales, let me ask you a question, bro.
Yo.
Do you feel like the people from that community, do you feel like they tries to force that on straight men?
I want to say as far as force,
Or influence?
influence, most definitely.
Okay.
That's the word now.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
Yeah.
Because influence is a mug.
Yeah.
Especially right now, what's going on, subliminal messaging is real. And honestly, I'm going to say, yeah. It kind of, it didn't got to.
Elaborate.
It got real out of hand. I mean, I didn't get out of hand because I didn't have certain experiences dealing with legal obligations to where I had to be around that.
Mm-hmm.
But noticing how individuals know how to be like that and still carry about in a manly and respectable manner, then to be out here and be like, y'all violating.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
it's what you're saying, it's your approach, and it's everything about it.
Yeah.
It's like not really caring about what others may think or even feel at the time of how you may approach that individual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what they're going through or what they've been through in their life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That could have been your last word saying something out the way to somebody, and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So and then at the same time as this, when you go inside the clubs now, I'm gonna keep it gangster. Like when you go inside the clubs, man, fellas, y'all better be careful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't letting y'all know. They ain't letting y'all know what's going on.
Yeah.
The whole time, like, you think, it's real like that. You know what
I
I'm saying?
seen something on First 48, where there was a situation where this African American was at the club, and he seen I think it was a Mexican, I believe. Latino. You probably seen the episode, there. And you feel me? You know, bro wasn't being honest to what he is. You know, the man thought it was a female, and you know he was rocking with it. They wanted to go to the crib, go ahead about to link up, mess with do their thing or whatever. Realize that something wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And then when they realized it, he spazzed out and killed them. Right?
Facts.
And then when he killed them, it's like the most sinful thing that he should have. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, but can you blame him for that due to the fact that he wasn't honest about, you know what I'm saying, who he really is versus, you know what I'm saying?
That's a respect thing.
Yeah.
So,
Most definitely.
Yeah.
I can't see how you can be with the foolery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know that if this great man finds out that you are another man,
Yeah.
it's liable to go left field.
Yeah.
He gonna spaz out.
Yeah.
You
So,
putting your own life.
You putting your
Yeah,
life
risk,
in danger.
Mm-hmm.
You playing at your own risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now when a man spazzes out and does something to him, now this man gets a life sentence for gay bashing
yeah.
or hate crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How is that fair?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's never fair, especially because that's really like a case of insanity.
Yeah, it is.
Temporary insanity.
It
Like,
is.
yeah, like
It
you
is.
know what I'm saying, because you can be so distraught about what happens at that moment that you black out and you don't know what you then did, but you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
know the after effects is like, oh, okay, I don't know what happened, but that happened. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But at the same time, though, it comes again with the respect factor and the boundaries when it comes to these individuals who think they can overstep that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What makes them feel like or have the audacity to step to a heterosexual male and feel like they can do that and think it's going to be no repercussions, no nothing?
Consequences, nothing.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
man, hold on. I don't know. Listen.
I feel like they be trying to trap y'all.
Yeah, you know
Listen,
what, though?
indirectly, I
You
think
know
so.
what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's so much going on. You got wigs, you got makeup, you got all this stuff
Yeah.
that they could put on.
But see,
And it's not that hard. It's like they have access to it just like we do as women. So it's easy for them to portray somebody that they not.
Right.
And because it's that easy, it's easy to influence y'all
yeah.
Right.
that they somebody that they not.
Can I also tell you this too, just to even hit deeper with that? I also feel like worldwide, they know black men, we are the strongest, powerful men in this universe, bro. They know that. And I feel like this just another design to weaken us.
To get destroyed.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, they find ways to do what they do to us in the streets, killing innocent black men, locking innocent black men up, just all types of shit that we know about. And I feel like when it comes down to, you know, being gay or etc., I feel like they pushes that on social media or worldwide to find ways to, okay, how can I mess up these little young men before they become a grown man? How can I mess up they, you know what I'm saying, mindset to become this, to weaken them before they even know before they get to their full potential, to where they supposed to be as a man?
You know what, bro? I not only that, right? What about these females? No disrespect, but all these females that sort of cater to these guys that do this type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of times you'll catch a female, oh, that's my bestie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They be with the same foolery that he on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they pushing him out. Oh yeah, go on, girl, try him.
Yeah,
What?
true.
You know this nigga over here is straight.
True.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a relationship, a friendship with somebody who was gay. You know what I mean? But
Right.
when we were friends, like with him, it was very much so different because even though he was gay, he grew up in the church, so he knew what was right and
Right,
what was wrong.
okay.
And a lot of stuff he didn't agree with.
Right.
You know what I mean? For as like the sex changes,
Right.
you know, certain things like tricking men, he didn't believe in it. Like, so I feel like everybody is different. It just depends on who the person is.
Right.
So everybody don't have that same mindset.
No, I'm not gonna put it over everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
But I'm just saying as a whole.
Whole, yeah.
You know, a lot of gay males and females. You know what I mean? They be on some extra stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And they
'Cause-
shouldn't have do that. Like
Right.
there's times where I can remember, not to cut you off, Malik.
You good?
There's times where I can remember being a security guard, and I remember this one incident. I was a security guard for this company called G11, and I was at the bus station, and it was a transsexual that approached me, but the transsexual wanted to approach me in a flirty manner, knowing, well, whether you know it or not, you just don't approach a person in that way if that person doesn't give you a sign
Right.
to
They
let them know. Nah, I can't say that. I
They
can't.
do know.
Let me tell you this.
They know if you straight or not.
They,
Hold on.
they try to push the envelope though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They try to-
and that's what I'm saying.
But they know.
Okay,
They,
yeah.
They know.
I be feeling like they be trying to push it to see, you know what I'm saying, what you all about. And I feel like, in my opinion, that is just totally wrong.
Yeah.
And I feel like once a man stand up like on some, you know, don't test me in that way or whatever, you can't consider that. You cannot consider that gay bashing.
It's not.
You can't. You
Because gay bashing would be me out here. Oh, you that.
yeah, saying all the.
But
yeah.
if I'm telling you, bro, listen, I don't fuck around. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take that somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put some bass in your voice when you talk to me, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't with all that thing.
Yeah. Like, it just be weird, man.
So when you got these guys coming at men that's straight and trying that little slick shit,
Yeah.
it's uncool. It's
Yeah.
not cool at all.
That's unacceptable.
It's a lot of men that act straight that's not straight though.
That is true. I can dig that.
That's true.
I can dig that.
Indeed.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I feel like that's another reason why they try to
They try to weave out people too.
figure out, you know what I'm saying?
But
what you got
But I
going
feel
on
like
for real.
overall, though, even though that's true, I agree to that. But all right, this is how I look at it from this perspective. If a person is down low with it, right? If they see something that they want, right? They might not want everybody to know it, but they're gonna find a way to approach you in some behind the closet type shit to get your attention. So I feel like, for that being said, don't just be coming up approaching any and everybody with that, not knowing for sure if that's what he want. Like if he didn't give you a sign of, hey, I like you, you know what I'm saying?
But I mean, that go to like y'all approaching women. Like, how do y'all know she don't like women?
We can tell.
What? So we can tell.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
It's certain
Like-
things about your etiquette that stands out. You know what I mean? Different from a female that likes females and a female that doesn't like females. You know what I mean? So anytime I approached a female, it was always dead on. She either sees both ways or she's just strictly males. You know what I mean? I've never ran into a female that was strictly male that I actually confronted or came to,
Right.
and she was like, "Oh no, I like girls."
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's just something about your nature.
exactly. I was
It
just
stands
about
out.
to say that, Yeah.
Because a woman gonna be a woman 24/7, and a man's
Exactly.
gonna be a man 24/7.
7.
You know what I mean? So there's no,
In between.
you know what I mean? Nah.
Let me ask y'all this. Well, first of all, let me ask you this, because you a mother. You a mom, you know what I'm saying? Because once again, StressLyfe featuring Breely, It
Stress
Takes
it.
Two.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Yeah, that's
it
on
two
all music
times.
platforms. You know what I'm saying? I know you a single mother, right? I know in like watching like today's cartoons, it's very different to how it used to be when we was coming up.
I feel
And-
like our stuff was just more subliminal.
Yeah, it
That's-
kind of
that's all.
was. It kind of was. I give you that. I give you that. I give you
Yeah,
that.
'cause
Like
if you go back
SpongeBob
and
and all of
look at
that.
stuff, you
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like-
yeah. I give you that. I give you that. I give you
You know,
that.
Pepe Le Pew was kind of questionable.
Yeah, like my
Yeah,
mama.
yeah.
Wait. Let me just say this one thing. I'm gonna let y'all have it. No, it wasn't G. Bugs Bunny was dressing up in drag and kissing Elmer Fudd straight in the mouth. Like
It
that's how
was.
they got
Yeah,
down.
I forgot about the
Like,
Looney
You got it.
Tunes.
You got it. Like you know what I'm saying.
Forgot
Like
about the Looney
it's
Tunes.
wild, but it came from somewhere. That's all I want to say, yo.
Right,
That's true. You right,
It's
John.
You're
been-
You're
absolutely
right.
right, though.
Yeah.
You're right. Let me ask you this though. Knowing that, right? I feel like now,
It's more profound.
it is. When my son was like, my son was like 3-4 months at this time, and I remember watching. Anytime this man watches cartoons, I watch it with him because I want to make sure whatever my child is watching is good for him to watch. And I seen this show that was it was disturbing. It was these two guys that was best friends or whatever, and for some reason, his friends didn't like the guy that he just met as a best friend. They wouldn't rock it with him, so it was a lot of controversy between that. Long story short, at the end of the show, they end up meeting somewhere and they reconciled with each other. Everything was all good. When the friends, when one of the guy friends all had left, and it was just them two by themselves, they decided to be honest with each other that they liked each other in a deeper way, and they hugged each other and gave each other a kiss. And I remember it just blew my mind, right? So this is what I want to ask you. How is important it is to make sure that you be with your child, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that your child watch the things that he or she needs to watch. You know what I'm saying? Versus just watching any and everything and just being influenced off of it and thinking it's okay when it's, you know.
I feel like it's very important, especially for me, because I don't my child is 10. So, you know, he's up in age.
Right.
And he pays attention to everything. Like, I had to ban him off of YouTube. Like, not to change the subject.
Yeah.
I walked in his room and he looking at girls shaking their ass. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He's talking about, yeah.
Hey, at least you're on the right path, though.
My God.
I get it, but
What you looking at, my boy?
I was like, what you looking at? He's like, huh? What are you looking at? I don't know. I don't know what you looking at.
You had to type it.
You had the little one.
Right. So I feel
Here's
like
the little one.
I feel like either way it go, like whether they watching females or watching something that you don't want them to watch, you still got to pay attention to them,
Right.
because we grew up early because we was outside, you know,
Right.
before outside became a word. But
Yeah.
we was outside, so with them, like, they have social media. Now, granted, we was in the age where social media first started, but it's on a whole different spectrum now. So I feel like it's very important to pay attention to what your kids watch, what they do, who they be around, who they talk to.
Yeah.
Because it's not even like, for us, like, friends, like, it's all about who they friends is raised up by and who they around. Because who they around and what they see, they can influence your child.
Right.
And it don't necessarily have to be TV. You know, it could be anything. It could be a family member. It could be anybody. So I just feel like just paying close attention to your kids, period, no matter what they doing and who they around, is very important.
It is.
You know, I grew up in an era before social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a 70s baby.
Okay.
So me seeing social media and the stuff that is on social media, I'm like, what the? Whoa. My son is 7, just turned 7. And I walked in on some stuff that he was watching. I'm like, boy, what the heck? Boy, turn that off right now. It's over with.
Watching?
Man, listen, I don't even know what the hell the name was, right? But it had the little character, like, just tooting his butt up, farting on the other little characters or whatever. Dude, what is this? What is this kind of thing portraying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, he just tooting up.
I feel like now in today's age, because of everything that, first of all, we could thank Obama. But now in today's age, I feel like we just pay more attention now because this stuff was already in our face. I'm just being 100% honest. Yeah, it was always in our face. We just didn't really pay attention to it because a lot of that stuff was done underhandedly, like in the closet. You know what I mean? When those terms was out. And now, because it's so open, it just opened our eyes to pay more attention to what it is.
See, like, my age, it was taboo for you to be a queer.
Yeah.
Don't take it no type of way, but or what's called a homosexual, faggot, whatever you may call it. You know, back then it was taboo for you to do all this extra stuff. You know what I mean? There was no open relationships that was like straight ball. You can't come in your grandma's house and say, this is my boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was not happening at all.
Never is a liar.
You know what, Malik? I'm happy.
What grandma gonna say? I rebuke in the name of Jesus.
I'm happy that you said that because now I want to ask y'all, because all y'all got kids. All y'all, right? Including me. I got me a job. You got babies. You know, you got 4.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and your grandfather. Yeah. You feel me? So now I got a question for real to ask all y'all.
He the pappy.
If God forbid, not to put it on your child, but I'm just using it as an example. If your child come to you and say, you know, Mom, Dad, I like the same sex. How would you react to that as a parent?
Let me holler at you real quick. Let me talk to you real quick.
Hey, Kel's got a lot to say.
I'm gonna drink to that one, y'all.
It's man. Okay, all right. I'm gonna speak my truth on it. Honestly, I got a daughter. She 11 right now. At an early age, she was going through something where she thought that she liked the opposite sex, or she thought that she liked it. Girls, and I'm like, this at a young age.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what? I don't even know what made me even just be like, you know what? That's just a phase.
Yeah.
It's just a phase. But I had to be like, you know what? Nah, let me inquire more. And why do you feel like that? Why do you feel like this? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? It just was more like because she felt like she was more cool and acceptable in female eyes because she's, you know what I'm saying, more mature at her age and more taller, you know what I'm saying, in her age. So it's like she's kind of intimidating to the guys, to the boys, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Which I like, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, I was saying,
That's right.
but, so at the same time, it's like, she was like, nah, none of the boys look at me like they, like, it's always like, you know, like they stand back and whoop all the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, the girls, they always like her because they gravitate towards her, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she didn't realize that, you know what I'm saying, her magical power yet.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Right,
She didn't realize that, nah, that's for a reason, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
Now,
know-
before we get to y'all opinion, I want to talk to you a little bit more to what you just said, right?
Okay.
So, you know, you said something that was very interesting to me. The word phase.
yeah.
I had a situation where my dad kept me from touching purses. He kept me from touching anything involving with girls, you know what I'm saying, things that girls play with or carry. He kept me away from it, right? And if he ever saw me touch it, you know what I'm saying, that's it. Don't play with me. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I act with my child, right? Now, the only difference is I don't chastise him. I talk to him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How important you think that is if you, let's say if you have a son, right? And matter of fact, no, we could stick with the topic with your daughter. If your daughter at that time, when she was dealing with that, when she was like, if she said, let's say she saw like some fresh jeans and a shirt, you know what I'm saying, or she saw a basketball, or I ain't gonna say basketball, but if she just saw anything that's manly, that guys do, but she wanted to do it for whatever reason, do you think that, you know, as parents, we have to really sit down and be like, look, you ain't supposed to do that. Why you want to do that? Like,
No, not at all. If anything, they're trying to figure out what they like to do.
but I'm saying, like, do you think it's important to be involved
Of
to
course.
like figure it out,
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying, where your mind is at? You know
Of
what I'm
course,
saying?
because at the same time, it's like they know what they want, but they just don't know how to build on it. So you like the molding factor. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And that's important because I feel like with some parents, they will allow their kids to just figure it out on their own, and then they just be in this.
That's not
you know what I'm
parenting.
saying?
Parenting.
Yeah.
That's not parenting.
Yeah, it's not parenting. Yeah,
I wouldn't advise that at all.
Right, right. So, yeah.
I wouldn't advise that because
Right.
I'm just looking at things with perspective, like because of what's going on out here. Who do you want them to be influenced by?
Right.
You or the world? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
And
right.
right now, things
world
going
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, the world crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Crazy.
So if you ain't been building grounded on principles and integrity, you know what I'm saying? Then
Morals.
and morals, and,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, and just respect in
Ethics.
general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just you know what I'm saying, like the basic codes of just being a man and being a woman in general.
Yeah.
Then yeah, things are gonna get arrayed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people are gonna veer off and trying to figure out who they are. You know what I'm saying? But it's not up to us to stop them.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out their own path because it's no telling where that path may lead.
Lead them. Yeah.
Right.
So you could be stopping your own blessings at the same time if you're a parent.
Facts.
So you have to
Right.
realize that whoever your child is, you know it's something special inside that child. No matter what becomes of your child as far as sex, you know what I'm saying, who they like preferably, you know what I'm saying? That ain't none of your business. Your business is to raise your child the right way in general, and however which way they go that's their decision. You know what I'm saying? So
Stress it.
yeah, you feel me? Like yeah, you know, yeah.
Yeah. That's real.
But that's real though, you know what I'm saying? Because I realize sometimes that when we try to put a stop to certain things that they're doing,
Make them do it more.
yeah,
In facts, it make them doing more.
it make them doing more. You know what I'm
push
saying?
forward.
What about you, Bree?
What about me? What?
I just want to know if your you know God forbid if your son came to you and be like, Mom, how would you react to that as a mother?
I don't even know.
Yeah, now you right. That is a great question.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
And I feel like people feel like women would be more accepted to it because it's.
That's what I want to figure out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's your son, and but I mean, I wouldn't have no choice but to deal with it. That don't mean that I agree with it. That don't mean I accept it. But I love you, and if that's what you choose to do, I mean, who am I? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
I love you regardless of what you want
But
to do.
would you like investigate to figure out why you choose to be who?
I mean, I sit down and talk to him about it, but that's a tough.
You think he would feel at fault? In a sense, yeah. Like, do you think he would feel like?
That's a great question. Like, do you feel like you failed as a parent or something?
Yeah.
Not
even as a parent. I'm gonna say as a mother. Just in
as
general.
a mother, yeah.
No, and that's my biggest thing. Like for me, because I am a single parent and my son is always around me, and I am a woman. I try to send him like he go to my dad sometimes. Just to be around male figures.
Yeah.
Because he's always around me. Yeah. So, but I wouldn't feel like I failed. I feel like I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how I would feel.
I have a question. But since you're a female with a male child, right? Do you feel like being that he's around you all the time, he picks up more of the traits from you as a female versus a male?
No.
I could vouch for that. No.
Let me tell you why I say that, right? Because a lot of times when a male child is raised by a single mother, they pick up the traits and the emotions like a female.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not saying they're gay or anything like that, but they pick up like these emotions just like a female, more feminine ways. You know what I mean? Because they're used to seeing from a female's perspective, you know what I mean? Versus a male's perspective.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Because I'm gonna say this right. I was raised by a single mother too. You know what I mean? But I had male examples in my life, as well,
right? That
stood firm and they didn't waver in their position. You know what I'm saying? So I gravitated towards these male figures that was in my life. I'm gonna give you 5 males that was in my life. 1, my mama's baby brother. You know what I mean? My Uncle Bert, nickname. My Uncle Bert was my best friend. We're 13 years apart. So me being the only grandchild, I gravitated towards him. You know what I mean? My Uncle Bubba, my Uncle George. You know what I mean? My cousin Pop. God rest his soul. Love you, man. And like different figures like that in my life. They gave me lessons of being a man. Even though I was raised by a woman. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. They showed me how to do things as a man. How to conduct myself as a man. You know what I mean? Not just viewing from my mom's eyes, but viewing from their eyes. You know what I mean? So it gave me a different structure than just being from a
you got
single
to see
mother.
It from both ways.
I got to see it from both ways.
So would you admit that knowing what you know, did you went through a phase of battling with the emotions of a mother traits?
I say no, because the male figures that I had in my life were so strong, you know what I mean? And they were dominant in my life, you know what I mean? My mother gave me the know-how to respect a woman, the know-how to care for a woman, the know-how to approach a woman, how to respect a woman, you know what I mean? They gave me, this is how you act as a man towards a woman. You know what I mean? They gave me, this is how you guide yourself around a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. This is how you guide yourself in a situation. You don't allow your emotions to be taken over your rationality. You know what I mean?
Expressive.
So now, as a man at 45, about to be 46, April 3rd, y'all. But you know what I mean? But now I see the things my mom taught me. But I rationalized those emotions that she had about what I was doing, how I was out there doing things in these streets. I rationalize it now. You know what I mean? Like my son's mother, she's emotional. She's extremely emotional. You know what I mean? Love her to death. Tiara, I love you. But I rationalize. I don't allow my son to do certain types of things because as a man, I can't allow him to do this.
See, I was about to piggyback on that. I was about to say I'm not really, like, I'm real stern with him. And I feel like I feel like I have to be that way because I am a woman raising a man.
That is true.
So I'm very stern on him. I'm not like an emotional, you know what I mean? Like I don't.
But don't take away from it though.
No, I don't.
Give him the emotion too, because at the end of the day, he needs that emotions.
Yeah.
Because he's missing that other half.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm happy that you say that because, you know, my dad, he was extremely strong on that.
Right.
Like that, men don't cry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was on that with me hard.
Right.
Him and my mama.
Right.
And but as I got older and I was just going through a lot of different stages in my life.
What happens when a man cries?
You know
what happens when a man does cry?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So once all of that happened, it was just like, man, okay, they realized they was wrong for that. So I always try to like right now, my son, I allow him to get them tears out. Right. But then when he cry, I ain't gonna let you do it for too long. I'm gonna go ahead and stop you and I'm gonna talk to you. Or if he do things like if he walking and he have his, like if I tell him he can't do something and he get upset and he put his head down, no boy, you put your head up. Because life ain't gonna be peaches and cream for you every day. You're not gonna get everything you want.
You still gotta hold your head up.
You still gotta hold your head up. You know what I'm saying? So no, that's definitely real. How would you feel as a father? Because I know how you is with your child.
Yeah.
I know you. Yeah.
You know, I'm going to love my son regardless, right?
Right.
I'm going to love my daughter regardless.
Yeah.
However, being that I am Muslim, and I say, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah, that is a grievous sin in Islam. You know what I mean? And I can't say that I would just do away with them, but I would ask that they respect what I stand on. You know what I mean? If you are this way, do not bring that around me. You know what I mean? When you come around me, act as the gender that you were born within. You know what I mean? If you are a male, act as a male. If you are a female, act as a female. You know what I mean? And stand within it. You know what I mean? Do not impose your thoughts and feelings upon me. You know what I mean? I love you to death, but please do not impose your feelings upon me. Because if I impose my feelings upon you, then we have a problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we're going to come within our natural naft, which we were born.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everything will be okay with me.
You know, I for me as a father, you know, I ain't gonna act like it wouldn't bother me. Because it will. I'm gonna be honest with you. It will.
Okay.
However, this is where I want it to be known that this doesn't make me like in the sense of like I hate gay people or something like that. It's just as a father, it was just like, damn, I wouldn't have the experience of me and my son, you know, seeing, you know, women or he asking me questions about a female and how to approach and like we wouldn't be able to have that kind of bond.
We wouldn't be able to relate like
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it just I could talk about that in so many different ways, but I'm not. But it just as a man, as a straight man, and on how my father raised me and how his father raised him, it would kind of bother me. Now, granted, I would still love my son. Don't get it twisted. I love my child the same, and I would not treat him no different. But I would basically be like what you saying. Right. Like, when you come around me, respect the boundaries. Yeah. Don't bring who, you know what I'm saying, what you decide to be around me. Because it's you still got to respect the fact that even though I accept you, I still accept you, I don't respect your decision. Right. And you can't hate me or blame me, you know what I'm saying, for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I truly would feel as a father.
You know, as the father of a male child, right? Mm-hmm. I think I put a little bit more pressure on my son than my daughter. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say the reason why. There's certain bonds that a male shares with his son. You know what I mean? That if compromised, it kind of tears a little bit in their relationship. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to be able to go fishing with my son when I want to. I'm supposed to be able to talk to my son about this. I'm looking forward to my son bringing me grandchildren.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to my son going out here getting married to a woman and they being fruitful and living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fruitful.
So
Yeah.
it's really a pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really a hurt.
Yeah.
Because
Do you think that when it comes down to, gays, lesbians, bisexuals, et cetera, do you think women is more acceptable than men?
Yeah.
in society, yes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In society, yes, it is.
It's more they label it as more natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, man. A man penetrating another man's anus. You got I mean,
Yeah.
y'all choose what y'all choose,
Yeah.
right? But I mean,
Yeah.
you tough, dude.
Yeah.
To say the least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like too women are more sexualized than
Yeah.
so that's why it's more acceptable.
Yeah, because,
And we nice, we touchy feely anyway.
Right.
But that doesn't what I'm saying? That's just
it doesn't take away from what it is.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Come on, you good.
And us thinking about it, right? You know what I mean? There's no penetration with a female and female.
That's not necessarily true.
I'm talking about only part of your body that's gonna penetrate her is this, or your tongue. You know what I mean? You ain't got nothing hanging off your body that you can stick in science for.
Hey, let them tell it they do.
I mean, yeah, they do.
Because
But
I had homegirls that's like that.
Listen,
so they be
I
like,
have
my and I'm like, yo, wait, when did I find out?
I had a whole girl in Atlanta, my homegirl Lynn, and she had a chick that was the stud. Mm-hmm. So I remember Lynn used to be like, "Oh yeah, she did this, that. She can't get you pregnant."
But you know what though? Let me ask you this though. I'm happy that you even say that. My mind be brainstorming. I be asking all types of questions.
Of course, go ahead.
Sometimes I feel like people that's gay and lesbians and et cetera, I feel like they like that because of certain reasons, not because of that's what they want to be. And this is the reason why I said it. And I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm just speaking for certain things that I've witnessed. For an example, I had this guy that I met one time. I was in a mental facility when I was young, and everybody had a roommate, and they kept the guys separated from the girls. And I was in the room with this guy. He came to my room like late, real late, probably like 2 a.m. or something. So knowing that I got a new roommate, I don't know you, nigga, so I got to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Before I go close my eyes. And he was telling me his life story. And the thing that I couldn't understand was he was saying that he was raped multiple times from relatives, and even when he was adopted, he was raped. And most of the times it was guys that was raping him. And so fast forward, he just became, gay. And I had to ask him, and this is me, StressLyfe. Well, actually, this is Ray speaking right now. I've been sexually assaulted when I was a kid, and it was by a male cousin. And when that happened to me, I knew that ain't what I wanted. And so, don't get me wrong, it kind of somewhat messed up the relationship between me and my dad when it come down to hugging me and being affectionate for a little minute, because I had to heal from that. But once I healed from that, it got back to being normal. So I had to ask him. I said, when you went through those stages, knowing that ain't what you wanted, but you dealt with it, did you like it? And he was like, no, I didn't like it. So I said, well, if you didn't like it, then why become it? And he couldn't answer that. And that's where I always feel like some, not for all, but for certain people, I feel like they just choose to do that for certain reasons, not because that's what they really want to be for real.
I think that's a mental thing.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
But I think in his situation, I think he did that as a coping mechanism.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it went on so long with so many different people till he felt like it became normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what he's
Not
supposed
that
to be.
Yeah, like I'm supposed to be a tool for these people, this type of activity.
So how does that person, because like this is where the word rapist get involved.
Right.
When someone been taken advantage sexually and they don't heal from that. Not sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes they tend to do it to others. You know what I'm saying? And it just become this big thing.
Yeah.
How do we change that?
Some people never heal from it.
That's what I'm saying. So how
talking?
Yeah.
But that's another thing that's hard to talk about. So it's like I feel like for the mindset of a person like that, it's okay for somebody to do it to me, so why I can't do it to nobody else?
Right.
So
why
it's
should be the only one?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I don't think it's done like purposely. I think they just think that it's okay because it was okay for it to happen to them.
Right.
But I feel like back again that comes to talking, because you know a lot of that stuff was hush hush,
Taboo.
Yeah.
nobody said nothing.
Yeah.
Taboo.
And I mean, and that's just what it boiled down to, because it's a lot of black families like that.
It is.
And I could relate to that just off the strength of, like, once again, this is me being opening about this. When this was happening to me, he did things where, you know, he would try to make me feel comfortable first. And like he knew how to find ways to trick me. And then when I get tricked, that's when he would do certain things that he shouldn't, do. And you know, this is a game. Don't tell mama and daddy or whatever. And I, even though I didn't like it, I'm like, I wouldn't tell nobody. It got to a point where eventually it got exposed. It got caught. You know what I'm saying? He got caught up with it because he wanted to really do something. And I was like bucking on it. So at this point, we tussling. And I guess the screaming, my parents and his parents heard it and they bust through the room. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know how that would have went. So, I feel like, for that being said, anybody who goes through these situations, now, if that's what you choose to live your life and you think this is what you want to do, then, once again, that's your truth. I can't fault you for it. That's how you feel, whatever. But if you know in your heart this is not what you want to be for the rest of your life, you being outspoken to a parent or whoever that you trust, you should be able to talk. Because see, my issue why I didn't want to talk for real, because I thought, well, damn, does that make me gay? You know what I'm saying? Due to the fact that a guy touched me, that's how I felt. So I didn't want to say nothing to nobody. Right. You know what I'm saying? Until, it got exposed. And then when my daddy, my mama talked to me, that's when I realized, okay, if I didn't want that, then that doesn't make me that way. You know what I'm saying? So anybody who goes through that, like, yo, if that ain't what you prefer, if that's not your preference, that doesn't make you that. That was out of your control. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want that.
It makes you confused.
It does make you, yeah.
It makes you feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where do I fit into this puzzle?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh, man, like.
Somebody took that from you to make that decision.
You know what I mean?
They forced you to that decision.
They forced that on you.
So it's like
but I feel like it's hard. Like you said, talk about it. But if it's so traumatic to somebody, they're not going to talk. No matter who. Me and you could sit here and talk face to face and have a whole conversation and I can vent to you, but that don't mean I'm gonna tell you everything.
Right.
So it's harder than what we think it is to actually talk about. I think it's more it's traumatic, it's confusing, it's embarrassing, it's questioning. It's a lot of things going. I feel like a lot of things go on in their head or in your head when you going through that. So you don't really know where to start or how to have that conversation. You know, sometimes you might just tell one person, and it might take that one person to tell somebody else. But for as you like opening up, I think that's
the
more
hardest
difficult.
part.
Yeah.
Jai, what you think about that?
Oh Lord.
He got to get situated.
Come on in, bro. Come on. I want to hear your opinion on it.
Oh shoot. Which one? Y'all mentioned 1,000 things.
At this point, just speak your mind freely.
Right.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying, that caught your attention the most.
All right, so like that's the wrong one. All right. So I'm a single parent as well, and I have nothing but girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the leniency that they give girls as far as sexuality, especially in this culture. But the problem with that is that there's a homoerotic desire in a lot of men that gets put on women. Because if you want to see two girls get down with each other, that's you like homosexuality.
Yeah.
This is just what it is. It's a fact of the matter. I like, a stack on make her kiss her. All right, you into that type of thing. You gotta own pieces of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just your truth. You know what I'm saying? Whether you want to like look at it like that, like you like to watch homosexual activity, because at brass tacks, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Right.
You feel me? So, but if it comes to my kids, and I've dealt with some of that, my job first and foremost is their protection. That's the thing I take the most serious. So whatever world you go in, I gotta know something, because I can't be the last person to know, because I can't protect you.
Right.
I'm not participating, and I don't necessarily agree. My love is unconditional. My agreeance isn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? True. I don't gotta agree with everything. I love you to death, and by that, it's a very physical death that I'm talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
But if I got to step in front of you and the same sex partner and risk my life, you gonna hear about it on my way out. But I love my kids more than I love me. You know what I mean? And I just don't know. I've actually thought about, I don't know a condition that they could cross that would take that. They could do something to me. Yeah. And I just don't know that that's going to come off. So what you do with your body once you leave my house and you become an adult, that's your responsibility. I like one of y'all said that. That's your responsibility. That's not mine. But when you call me, I'm going to come. That's as simple as I know how to, put it. Now I'll tell you, like my father told me, like, 'cause when I was a kid, it wasn't about homosexuality. I used to, like when I first got started, I was into like Hispanic women and white girls and shit. And like, because those are the women that validated my body. That was important. And I think that's a lot of what happens with these young kids. It's who validates you first. Got you.
Right.
Because for a very long time, it was Hispanic women. They were validating me, so they had me. You know what I mean? Because a lot of black women, I look young now, so imagine what I looked like when I was younger.
Right.
I look like a child for much of my life. So only, you know what I'm saying? You got to learn to like who likes you. You know what I mean? And then you start to, like what she was saying about young girls, when they start to circle around each other because they're feeling the validation.
Right.
And then you got to realize who's willing to pay the cost. What cost are you willing to pay to experience that validation? Some people are willing to take it the sexual route to experience validation, because validation is a drug. It feels good.
Right.
So when somebody tells you your body is worth it, you feel me?
That acceptance.
Yeah, they make you.
That acceptance that means more than anything for a lot of people. I mean, in another way, y'all went to the streets for that same validation. It didn't take a sexual turn, but it took a violent turn. It took a pathological turn.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel me? So you have to understand it. Like I just told y'all before we went on the air. Yeah, I was out there with y'all, but I was chasing the girls.
Right.
My validation was somewhere else. I found my drug and chased it.
Right.
Yeah.
That was, women were my white horse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So y'all was like, yo, You know what I mean? I need to get this money. I need to get da 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 da. That was my path. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, you have to check in with your kids, and you can't let your kids be strangers.
Yeah.
Because when they come back with strange understandings, it's only telling of where you weren't.
Yeah, you're not paying
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're not where was I at? That needs to be the question. If your child is doing something so disagreeable to your understanding or to your covenant with your family, where were you?
What did you do?
Where were you at as a parent? Because ultimately, until the day you die, you're your child's parent.
Yeah.
And ultimately, to the day you die, you're responsible for them. That's just what it is. When I call my father now and I ask him, Pop, I'm in a bad way. I need something. I remember I called my father. I was like, I'm in a bad way. I called my mother. I'm in a bad way. And they told me, you're never not my son.
Right.
And I cried because I'm grown.
Right.
But they still see the kid.
Yeah.
Right.
Always.
You feel me? So
Yeah.
So it's when it comes to homosexuality, just the way I see it. My father told me, I was trying to tell you about the girls and the white girls. He was like, son, if it was up to me, because my mother did not like it at all. Right. But if my father said, if it was up to me, I would choose a black girl for you.
Right.
That would be my choice for you. That's what I would want.
Right.
But that's not my choice to make.
Right.
So I just have to accept your choices. And I just ask that you keep me abreast of the choices that you make so we could talk about it. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I just happen to have, like y'all were saying, I just happen to have strong male figures in my life that anchored me. You know what I mean? A lot of these kids don't have strong male advice in their life. And another thing, female or male or not, we just don't have sexual discipline in our community.
We don't.
We just don't have it at all.
We don't.
We running around.
Everything that is important in our life, there's a discipline. There's a discipline around self-defense. There's a discipline around being a mechanic. There's a discipline around health and your diet and your workouts. There's always disciplines. And the only thing we don't discipline in our community is what we do with the most important part of your body that is going to have the most ginormous effect on your outcome.
Your lower desires.
And your desires. And then, like, there's no fence around it. There's no leash on it. It's just do what you're going to do. And I hope it works out for you. So that's where I'm at with it. Like, if we had more sexual discipline in our community, then we might have more of a outcomes that we can have trajectory towards.
Right.
But also, your kids are watching you, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
If your kids are watching you and all you talking about is hoes and bitches and these bitches, they're trying to learn how to be adults from the adults they watching.
Yeah.
And if all they see their mama do is get twerked up, get turned out, get, burnt out, get, crashing out, who are they going to... They're going to be a perfect version of you. Is all they see is their father on that type of time. What type of time do you think they're going to be on?
Right.
The apple don't fall that far from the tree. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, then even the fact that I'm into it, like when I talk to my father and I hear his exploits about what I go, oh, well, I see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It only makes sense. Some of this was wired.
Right.
Yeah.
Hardwired.
And you don't teach your children what to do with these wiring. They're going to figure out something.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is going to take them right down the path that you took, and you're trying to get them off. Like, there's some stuff I did you don't need to do.
Right.
And I have daughters, and I still have that problem.
Right.
I still got to go, y'all are following me too close. Some of this I didn't want y'all to do.
Right.
Like.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? My son is 7. You know what I mean? First grade. And last year he was in kindergarten, and they went on a field trip. So he comes home. Well, no, we pick him up from school. So he jumps in the car. Daddy, guess what? What's up? Ivy kissed me. Do what? Ivy kissed me. So this little girl kissed you. So I was like, okay. So what do you think about it? This little dude looks at me and says, can I say it?
Expect the unexpected.
First of all, my son is way beyond his years, right?
He is, straight up.
So I'm in the front seat, right? So I turn and look at him. What's up? He looks at me and says, I was like, what the fuck?
He wasn't ready.
I was not prepared for that. I had to turn back around and compose myself. I'm like, hold on, nigga just say what the I said,
Keeping it real.
I'm keeping it real, right? So I said, well, did you like it? So he was like, I think so. I was like, okay. I said, but understand this, son. You're 6 years old. You're 5 years old at the time.
Right.
You're too young to be experiencing
These type of
little girls kissing on you at this age. I'm glad that you like it, but at the same time, Daddy wants you to wait until you're older, so you know what to do with this type of emotion that comes about with kissing. You know what I mean? You're not able to process what's going on when a girl kisses you yet.
Yeah.
So he looked at me like, but you kiss mommy. I'm grown. See, what you understand, what you don't understand is that me kissing mommy is what got you here. You know what I mean? You're not ready for that type of stuff yet. Your body is not even ready for that yet. But you got to understand, son, I'm glad that you like this little girl and the little girl likes you. That's the way it's supposed to be. But not at this age.
Right.
So a couple of days ago, he comes home again. I don't know how this little girl ended up back in his class again. This same little girl is still kissing on my little boy.
She gonna find a way.
Listen, you know, nothing against interracial relationships or anything like that. She's Hispanic and white. You know what I mean? And my little boy is a light-skinned little boy. You know what I mean? He looks like he could pass for something other. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he comes home. He's like, so I went in the bathroom because the way their classroom is set up, they have a bathroom in the classroom.
Yeah.
It's a male and a female. So they go through the door, and then it's the two bathrooms. But on the other side of this door is just like a little empty hallway. You know what I mean? He was like, I stood in there, and the lights was off. I turned the light on, and I was in there, and she kissed me again. So like, little boy, hold on, stop. What you and this little girl got going on? Yeah. You too young. I just told you about this last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not mad at you, but at the same time, I'm not happy with you either.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with the fact that you are indulging in this type of stuff with this little girl that could lead to troubles. You know what I mean?
So, and see, with that being said, you saying that what you saying, what Jive said, really what everybody said, you know, it goes to show that boundaries is extremely important. It don't necessarily have to be with the opposite sex. I mean, it don't have to necessarily be with the same sex. It could be with the opposite sex too. Just because you are a female and you look good doesn't mean I want you to kiss on me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know, that's the whole part. That's the whole point of this this discussion, because I feel like you know, I feel like, once again, like I said, I feel like in today's generation, it seems like straight men doesn't have a voice. They speak out. Like when Lil Boosie said the things that he say on internet, you know what I'm saying, they attack him for that. When he's not necessarily disrespecting your preference, he's just standing on his beliefs.
That's his
so
truth.
What, you know what I'm saying, what a man's supposed to be. And they take it as, you know, you gay bashing when it's not, you know.
But my question is, what happened to the freedom of speech?
And that's what like it's not like, I mean, that's why I say what I said earlier, why I feel like that's one of the designs to weaken a man. Right. Because, like, go ahead.
Oh no. My only pushback is freedom of speech does not mean freedom from critique. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. So if somebody don't agree with you, some people gonna be loud. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? True. Like, so when you see, like, you know, just take it back to yesteryear, you're talking about like the Malcolm X's, the Martins. Right. You know what I'm saying? They imagine what they had to speak through. Yeah. You know, it wasn't like they were speaking and it was respect on the other side. Right. If you stand for what you stand for,
a whole lot of backlash.
The opposition is gonna have to be proof of concept, because if it takes silence for you to be heard on a controversial issue, then you might be a little bit more fragile than this conversation can be had. Like, because look, like it or not, they out. They not going back.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They just not. So we here now. So,
but it's
You
only
just have to
different
learn to
though
live
because
with
it's like
Mhm.
you know, in today's world, okay, we could go ahead and speak like for an example, just and I'm talking on just entertainment world. Okay. If what his name is like Young Thug when he was doing what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? When he was doing what he was doing, if there was a lot of men that came out and was like, man, what you got going on, you know, and just, you know, saying that's just not right because due to the fact that he got a lot of kids looking up to him and you saying that this is not your preference, you're not gay. However, you doing, you know, things that a gay man would do, which is confusing for the people who's watching you. If a straight man doesn't speak out on that, the community would just like quote unquote cancel you. You know what I'm saying? For speaking your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like for an example, like I speak on what I said earlier when I said that I don't allow my son to touch a purse. I don't care. Don't tell my son to pick a purse up to give it to you. No, you get up and you get it yourself. I don't want him to touch it. That's just me. You feel me? I'm just being honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want my son touching no purse. I don't want him touching anything involving with a female items. Like, I don't want him to do that. And a lot of women would consider that gay bashing. You know what I'm saying? You being homophobic. Yeah. And I'm just be like, how was that? That's to me, I don't think that is. I'm just, you know.
Well,
Wait, you switching over. Now, when I was younger, right, my mom used to keep candy in her purse. My mom skipped my behind for me going inside her
You're
purse.
not supposed to go inside of one. What's wrong with you?
I was 5.
You know, about you learned that day.
Yeah, right.
Till this day, I would not go inside of a female's purse. I don't care who it is.
I got you.
My fiance, she asks me to go inside her purse all the time. No. Yeah.
Yeah, you get it,
Listen, she can have my debit card inside her purse, right?
and you won't get it.
Guess what I do? Man, hey, let me get my card. What? It's right there. Get it. I'll wait till you stop.
Yeah.
I'm driving. I'll wait till you stop.
Yeah.
Nah, like for real.
Because the things that my mom instilled in me about that purse, it's ungiven. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't no waiver in it. I'm not doing that.
So that would being said, that's coming from a woman
yeah.
telling you not to do that.
Right.
So it's kind of like, why a straight man can't tell his son, you feel me?
Because
don't do that.
I guess because they think that we got this like ego about it. You know what I mean? No, you got to realize the way we were actually raised about this type of situation. You know what I mean? I was raised not to deal with women products, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now that
This nigga here laughing and shit, man.
I mean, now that I've gotten older, right, and I have a daughter. My daughter is 10. You know what I mean? So there's gonna come a time where I'm gonna have to do certain things
That you're not.
that I'm not gonna be comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get comfortable with getting female products for a female until I was married. You know what I mean? And I didn't get married until I was like 30. Good night. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with me having to go to the store and actually pick up a female pad, tampons, whatever, me like that shit was uncomfortable as hell. You know what I mean? I'm walking through the store with this big block of pads, and I'm like,
what the hell?
That's funny. I just bought some like.
Well, we know
I
it
literally
ain't
just
for
bought
you.
some like last night.
But see, this
but
the
it don't. But I got daughters like
Right, right.
like so it. When I became a single father, it became like my champion moment. You know?
right,
Like,
right,
There's no place I won't go for you.
right.
And it wasn't about discomfort. It was about my daughter's needs.
Right.
So when I grab it, it's just like, yo, you know, and we about the same age. So coming up, it's not just the discomfort doesn't just come from within. It comes from outside when
Right.
people see you,
yeah.
and the giggling and the snickling
Yeah,
and all this other stuff.
exactly.
You're just sitting here like, I gotta go through this.
And, you know, I wasn't the one that was like embarrassed by anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not embarrassed. You can't embarrass me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Listen, I can walk outside naked right now and not feel any type of way. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you can't embarrass me.
He's better than me. I just
You know what I mean?
that shit.
Hey, listen, dad body and all. I don't
He said dad body and all. This
You know what I
nigga.
mean? But I'm saying like this, you know what I mean? But when it came to stuff like the feminine products, I don't know. It was just something different about it because I wasn't used to
it,
actually having to go and do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You probably didn't know what to get, but
Listen, first time, boy, listen. I went back and forth in and out of the store at least 3 to 4 times. Because she was hurting so bad. She was like, I'm hurting. I can't move. Is this the right one? No. Is this the right one? No. Listen, I'm going
You
to
don't
push it
want
in
to
a
piss him
wheelchair.
off when he
you
said
should
that
just ask the woman
goddamn.
in the store.
You know what I mean? Listen, it wasn't even that. She prefers certain ones,
Yeah.
unscented. Like my fiance now. Baby, I love you. I'm sorry. But
He gonna cuss you out.
but like she wants unscented. She wants a certain type. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it got to be a certain size.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it has to be.
Why do we have to go through all of this to get to that? You know what I mean?
But
Listen, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go in here this time, but you go ahead and stock up for future. That way I don't have to deal with going through excuse me, ma'am, do you have such and such with such and such?
the simplest answer for that is every woman's body is different.
It is.
And that's all it is.
That's what the problem is.
He's talking about that's what the problem is. This nigga,
We need uniformity.
this man.
You ain't gonna get it. How y'all feel about like dads like dressing up for their little girls and stuff? Like
Negative.
What you mean?
Negative.
Like dressing like a girl?
Nah.
Like,
I mean, like
No, that's
You ain't
gotta be
never-
referring
you know what I'm
to
talking
that.
about?
Yeah, I knew you were referring to
elaborate, because I don't have a daughter, so I don't know what you're talking about.
We ain't doing that. I mean,
so
we ain't
you
doing
At all.
got some dads that play dress up with they
Oh, hell
daughters.
no. Hell no.
Listen,
But,
We ain't doing that.
Hell
but
no.
why?
you know, listen.
Why?
If I dress up, it's as a male character.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
of course.
I'm not dressing up as a female character because that's not who I am.
Yeah.
Right.
I wear a crown because I'm a king.
Right.
But what if that's what she wanted you to do?
I'm sorry,
Listen, baby, daddy love you, but daddy can't do that.
I'm gonna give you Daddy's gonna give you a life lesson about daddy.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what though? Real shit though. Like
But
for real. That's what I mean by parenting.
Right.
You have to talk to them about that because if you don't, and like, cause this what irritates me about certain parents. They kids, they innocent. It's okay. No, the hell it's not. Because when you show them that, you know what I'm saying, it's okay. And they mind, they gonna have that same mentality. Not all kids, but some of them, they gonna grow up to think
Most of these-
This is okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's acceptable.
Well, so the thing is, one of the biggest things I've realized just about kids is what you're saying is the way we raise them.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is we're raising kids. And by that I mean we're not raising adults.
Right.
You don't plant seeds to grow seeds.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. You
Right.
plant seeds to grow crops. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't make a child to raise
Raise a
a child. I
You wanna-
made a child to raise it
Into
to
adulthood.
So, yeah.
the thing that it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when you start giving these kids that leeway, whatever they do is okay. You're training your child in the way that they should go, and when they grow, they won't depart from it.
Right.
So when you have this sense of entitlement that the world is just going to keep
Give-
changing for you, is how you get these kids who always seem to have some sort of psychological problem going on. I got this going on. I got that going on. They're trying to find a way to make the world adjust to them.
Yeah. They want-
That's why everybody has ADHD. That's why everybody has some sort of psychological, whatever the hell they say they got going on, because they don't know how to make the world change to them, because that's not what the world does in real life.
Yeah.
Your example, yeah, my daughter wanted me to put on a dress. Let me tell you how this is going to work.
Yeah.
That's a life lesson. It may not be fun, but that's not what life lessons are about.
They're
You know what I'm
to
saying?
be
So
taught.
I want to have fun with you, but I need you to understand that daddy has
Boundaries.
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 There are things that daddies don't do. If you want somebody to do that, They're, you know what I'm saying? And some fathers are cool with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? That's you and your relationship with your child.
Yeah.
But for me and mine's,
It's not going.
that's
that way.
not how I do
And
it.
you know, they
and it has
also-
nothing to do with what I don't want for you. It's just what I don't want for me.
myself.
For me, yeah.
And you have to be okay with the people that love you not wanting that for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
We're not
real.
always gonna see eye to eye on everything.
Yeah.
That's like how I see things where, like, if I watch TV or something, and you have like a comedy show or something, and it'd be like, I don't know, Kevin Hart, whoever. That matter of fact, this is the perfect example. Martin. Martin would dress up as Shanae, and you know what I'm saying. And even though he's doing these as characters, you know what I'm saying. He's just playing all these characters. You know what I'm saying. For me, it was just as a kid when I first witnessed that, I was like, something ain't right about that person. Like, you know what I'm saying. It was confusing, and it took time for me to realize that was Martin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, when my son, even though he's 3, and he just say certain words, that boy's smart. You know what I'm saying? He knows a lot. So when I watch certain things and I see something like, because I love Martin, I watch Martin all day, and if I see something like that, I have to talk to him,
Right.
like in certain ways, so he could understand, like, you know.
You know what I found? What I do with my kids, it's different. I just let them watch whatever the fuck they was gonna watch, but I told them, whenever you have a question,
Ask.
Yeah.
and I got the answers. So my kid was just like 4 or 5 years old, watching Family Guy and all kinds of wild stuff, and I just didn't like. The only thing I didn't let them watch was BET,
What's the difference?
because for me, I felt like cartoons are not imitatable. That's a cartoon. You can't take a shotgun and go, blow somebody in the face and all of a sudden they just turn into a flower. That's dumb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But music videos are imitatable.
Yeah.
And there was no version of a black woman on that channel that I wanted my kids to see in a way that I couldn't explain away. Because I'm a man, I got a limit. I can't explain away that. So I'm just not going to even introduce you to that because I can't. And I would have females come to my house and they would turn it on. Oh no, we don't listen to that here. We don't do that here.
Yeah.
And then they were like, why? I'm like, and I told them the same thing. And they go, my kids don't do none of that.
Yeah.
Period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe to a fault. But I couldn't explain away. Like, I'd hate to have to raise my kids in sexy reds on TV.
Man, what?
Oh my God.
I would hate to have to do that. You feel me? And my kids had those moments of rebellion where they kind of wanted to be like their friends and do this, that, and the third. And then start trying to talk ratchet. And let me tell you something.
Bring it back in.
I tell them like I tell my own, you don't talk to me like no nigga off the street.
Right.
Right.
At all.
Period.
Like there is none of that.
I'm not your friend. I'm not your
you know what I'm
homeboy.
saying? I'm not to do these niggas off the street. At all. And I didn't raise you like that. You're not gonna disrespect me. You got my last name running around in these streets.
Right.
So you not about to be running around here and they gonna be talking about them Smith girls, some hoes. That's not happening.
Right.
It's just not happening.
Right.
And I'll be outside. And my kids know I've been outside, gun in hand. We'll be out here until somebody come get me.
Yeah.
Don't play with me.
Yeah.
At all. And I'm not that type of dude. You see me, I joke around, but with my kids,
It gets serious.
that don't play with me. It's just what it is.
That's
you know
that
what time
boundary
it is.
factor.
You feel me? Boundary, yeah.
Don't cross me here.
Scratch it.
You know what I mean? So, and they respect it because not only did I do the things, I explained myself. So they could understand, okay, my father just ain't wilding. He's very articulate. So we got to sit down through this lecture now.
And see, that goes back to what you said.
The
I'm
race.
happy that you said that too because earlier I think you were saying, I can't remember word from word, but I remember you said something about, explaining to your child about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Alhamdulillah.
I feel like parents need to understand too, like, chastising or calling them out their names or et cetera, that is not enough to make them to understand.
No.
Yeah.
If I like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like with me, right? I'm gonna be real with you. If you tell me, son, do not go to that corner over there because these guys, they be doing this and doing that, and I don't want you around there, right? And then before I know it, I goes there, right? I goes there to see it for myself. I get caught. Now you feel me, you call me, beating me, whatever. I'm gonna be honest with you, beating me is not gonna stop me from going back over there.
No.
But if you sit down and talk to me and tell me, like my daddy had to talk to me and tell me certain stories and all of this other stuff, and it was up to me if I still want to choose this lifestyle or not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Even talking to your kids, they still gonna do what they want to do.
Yeah, but it's the fact that you gave them, you know what I'm saying, the option. You know what I'm saying?
To voice their opinion.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like when you don't do that, just if you sit there and that's like keeping your daughter or your son from the world. If you tell them you keep them from the world, you keep them sheltered in the house, when they become an adult and they get out the house, they gonna be wild.
Wow. Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah, they lost. Yeah.
And, they become gullible.
They don't know what mistakes are. They don't know. They don't know nothing. They just doing whatever.
Because what you taught them is that safety is prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then now they think where the safety is where the least access is. Now they think outside in the world where the most punishment is, they think that's freedom.
Freedom. Yeah.
So now where
seen people
where the
like
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, I get to be outside. I'm just going wild out. This is where I try to tell my kids now, like, yo, once you turn 18, they're not gonna bring you home to me.
Right.
Yep.
That's over with.
That's
real shit,
so you
boy.
doing all this wilding.
And these days it's 16.
It's 16. It's 16.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Facts.
like I've dated females that was green. You know what I mean? And
We got 5 minutes, y'all. Just let y'all know.
and I've been outside. You know what I mean? So me having to explain certain things to them, it's like they be like, "Are you for real? You actually was involved in that type of stuff?" Yeah. You know what I mean? So now it becomes a wow factor to them. And some people can't handle that wow factor. It really blows their mind. You know what I mean? And like seeing how I kind of was pushed outside versus
Being sheltered. Yeah.
It made a difference in who I became. It made a difference in who and how I view things. You know what I mean? Because now my view is wide open. I have views from his perspective, her perspective, this perspective, that was perspective. Because I've been around these types of people.
Right.
And even with the LBGQ community, you know what I mean? I have cousins that's that way or whatever they may be, you know what I mean? But I sit and talk with them and gain a respect for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't try to bash them. I don't try to make them feel less than.
Right.
I just want you to understand that I'm not that way, so don't impose your thoughts upon me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Real
your
shit.
feelings. But
Shit.
I'm willing to respect your aspects of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as it's not inducted into my life.
Yeah, I feel like that's where it really started from. Like, they just wanted respect. They want people to look at them for who they is and
that's cool.
and not look at them differently. But then you have others that take it too far, and it's always the people that take it too far that mess it up for everybody.
The flamboyant.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where it really came from. For us, like they just want to. A lot of them just want to be accepted.
And I feel like also too, you know what I'm saying? I want to say this real quick. When it comes down to religion, I respect every religion beliefs when it comes down to, not agreeing with people preference. However, this is the one thing that bothers me. I feel like at the end of the day, we are one thing that all religion could relate on is love. You know what I'm saying? Is love. I've been around certain gay males, lesbians, bisexuals. I done been around a few of them in school and shit. And I could be honest with you. They was the most coolest motherfuckers I ever been around with, bro.
Some of them are.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't try me. They respected me. And I respected them. And you feel me? They just been cool. You know what I'm saying? And I see how there was this one guy that told me that his dad is a pastor. And how his dad knowingly that, you know, that he's gay. And he will find ways to talk about it for no particular reasons in his sermon. Just to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I be kind of like feeling like, okay, at this point, is you preaching or is you just gay, you know what I'm saying? Gay bashing at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, we all supposed to respect each other. And you know what I'm saying? Respect each other, love one another. You don't have to agree with each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We could always, you know what I'm saying, disagree with certain shit. But just because I disagree to how you live your life and you disagree to how I live my life doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, I don't respect you. You know what I'm saying? Just because this color is purple. I'm not purple, but if this color is blue and this color is red, doesn't mean they can't join together to become this new color.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
power in numbers anyway.
You
know
feel?
what I mean?
Yeah.
If we unite as one, you know what I mean, upon one common belief and one common goal. No matter what you come from. If you come from the LGBTQ, if you come from the straight community, if you come from the bi community, whatever it may be.
Whatever.
We got a common goal we're trying to achieve. We can achieve it more and faster if we come together.
If we come
I
together.
mean?
And understand each other.
Understand.
And hear each other out.
Right.
And
Respect
sometimes, you know, everybody have their own opinion, everybody have their own thoughts, but like respect how people feel. If you feel your way and I feel my way, that don't mean my way is right, your way is right, my way is wrong, your way is wrong. That's
Kum
just
fire kum.
how we feel.
That's how we feel, and that's just that.
Be mine.
Yeah.
Right.
Most
Well, y'all is 9:57. First, Malik
the barber. Too.
I tell y'all niggas y'all want to get a haircut.
The barber.
The barber.
24/7.
24/7.
Don't go, man.
Hey, it could be 2 a.m.
Give me a call.
Come on, Bubba. I got you, Bubba. You feel me? He can hook you up. You know what I'm saying? What's the Instagram?
Malik the Barber 912. Holla at me.
He got all his pictures, videos, everything. You feel me?
And once a month I do cutting wines.
Okay, I didn't know that, nigga, and I've been your goddamn customer for the longest.
I told you that it went on the weekend that you came.
Oh, I got you.
I know.
My man, Kels, TTG.
What's happening, man?
My nigga, he got a music video that just came out. What's the name of the song?
Oh, man, the topic.
It's
called Topic, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, what's the top of the topic? You
For
feel me?
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
It's dope.
It's dope. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, we got something too, man.
Man.
We ain't going to speak about that yet. We going to...
Too much.
Let's hold that down.
You hold it down. But nah, though, appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, for coming through, man.
Always.
Giving out your opinions, man.
Respect,
you know what I'm saying? There's all respect and love.
Yeah. I just want to... Let me end this with this, though.
Go
you know
ahead.
what I'm saying? Love conquers all. You know what I'm saying? Love the respect. You know what I'm saying? And love the, I'm saying, you know, that people are who they are and who they are for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And let's just respect each other for what they is.
For what they is, facts.
Love conquers all. So I'm saying, so let's get through this together, respectively, through love. You feel me?
Right.
Love is
And
love.
we're going to be all right.
That part.
We're going to be all right.
Love is love.
Bria Lee.
What's up?
Bad at from the SAV. Yeah, straight up. You got everybody else saying that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thank
Thank
y'all
you.
for having me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Y'all follow me at Introducer Greeley on Instagram. Thank you.
For sure. That girl that fire, y'all need to go ahead and check her out, man. I love her.
Facts.
Major.
Yeah.
Hey, we
waiting for you.
Frank, we got a flavor all right, man. Hold on.
Yeah.
We gonna,
Yeah.
Y'all gonna make me get a verse in this thing.
Count it down,
Straight up.
man.
My brother Jive. Yo.
It's a pleasure As always, man, y'all guys are like really thoughtful, really dope, and just hearing like the different perspectives going on, man. It's dope, man. It's fire.
For sure.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for allowing us to be on your platform, man, and giving us, our perspectives and views to certain things, man. Because, this wouldn't happen if we couldn't come here. You know what I'm saying? Just
Major.
100.
Major.
So, thank you, bro. Thank you for opening the doors, man. Hey, man. You know what I'm saying? What time it is? 10 o'clock on the dot. You know what I'm saying?
I know what's going on.
Hey, for real. Like I said before, like we all said before. You know what I'm saying? Love conquers all, bro. You know what I'm saying? But understand that we got to respect each other. You feel me? That's your preference. This is my preference. Let's respect it. Just because I don't agree to how you live your life doesn't mean I hate you. I don't agree to it. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I hate you. You know what I'm saying? So let's understand that. You feel me? Let's understand that, we got to watch how we take care of our kids. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to become an adult one day. You know what I'm saying? And before they become an adult, they got a lot of questions. They're going to become a teenager, you know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. And they're going to live their life to how they want to live their life. We have no control out of that. However, we could give them options. You know what I'm saying? So we have to do our parts as parents to show them, hey, X, Y, and Z. You feel me? And it's up to them to how they want to live it. And just because they chose, whether they agree with you or not, they decide to live their life to how they want to live it, that doesn't mean that we fail as parents. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean that way. That just because that's their path. You know what I'm saying? And that's between them and God. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So everybody, let's love one another. Let's respect each other. Understand that we cannot disrespect the boundaries. You feel me? We cannot disrespect that.
That part.
Scratch it.
Stress it.
Scratch it, y'all.